Hello students, today I am going to begin a new chapter in class 11 physics, which is motion in plane. Motion in plane means the two-dimensional motion in which the body is moving simultaneously in two perpendicular directions. Before coming over the actual topic, I will explain you about the scalar and vector quantities. As you already know, you are aware about this, that all the physical quantities can be classified into two parts: scalar quantities and vector quantities. Now, scalar quantities are those which require only magnitude to define completely, are those which require only magnitude, to define completely, These are called the scalar quantities. Means there is no sense of direction in those quantities. For example, mass of any body. So there is no sense of direction. Is there any sense? So there is no sense. Similarly, time. Similarly, area, volume. All these quantities don't require any direction to define them completely. Have you heard anyone telling this, that his mass is 50 kg in the east direction? Mass is the amount of matter contained which do not depend upon the direction. There is no sense, कोई sense नहीं निकलता है. So those quantities are called the scalar quantities. You can write many scalar quantities: mass, area, time, volume, density. In class 10th you have studied that work is also a scalar quantity. It's clear? Distance, speed, all these are the scalar quantities. Distance, speed, these are the scalar quantity. But there are some quantities which necessarily require direction for to defining them completely, which require magnitude and direction both. Magnitude and direction both. Which require magnitude and direction both to define them completely are called the vector quantity. For example, if you have to tell the position of your school, you have to tell the position of the school from your present location. So you have to you will tell that the school is at this much distance and in this direction. Both the things are required. If you are saying that the school is 500 meters from your present location, then it is the incomplete information. Means from your present location there are the various directions. In which direction it is 500 meters? It is upward, or it is downward, or it is sideways. In what direction it is 500 meters? So that if you want to specify the position of your school, then you have to tell compulsorily, you have to tell the direction, that in what direction. So here displacement, that is the displacement of school, this is known as displacement. When we tell the distance of some place with due consideration of the direction, then that term is known as displacement. When we tell the distance of some place with due consideration of direction, then that term is known as displacement. It's clear? Though you know that displacement, when we talk about the displacement, then it is the shortest distance between the 2 points, and shortest distance will be always straight. So displacement is a vector quantity. Then similarly velocity. when we describe the speed with direction, then that is known as the velocity. It is clear? So velocity is a vector quantity. Similarly, force. What will be the effect of force on any object? When you are applying the force in this way, it is moving towards you. When you are applying force from this way, it is moving towards me. If you are applying the force in some different way, it may deform. Means the effect of force you can explain only when you tell the direction. So that is, force is also a vector quantity. Acceleration. Acceleration, it is a vector quantity. Means these quantities, their description will be incomplete if you do not mention the direction. Their description will be completed only when you tell about their magnitude as well as the direction. So these quantities are called the vector quantities. And today's lecture is concerned over the vector quantities. It is totally over the vector quantities. It is clear? How will you geometrically represent the vector quantities? That is, it is totally dependent over that. So see here. Now I am going to explain you how will you geometrically represent the vector quantities. Geometrical representation of vector quantity. So now this thing will be clear to you that vector quantities are those whose description completed only when we tell about their magnitude as well as the direction. If you don't mention the direction, then we will not get the correct description of, we will not completely define that quantity. It is clear? Now see here, geometrical representation of vector quantities. Geometrical representation of vector quantity. Hereafter I will write vector quantity as VQ. This lecture is for vector quantity. In this whole lecture I will discuss about the vector quantity. So vector quantities can be represented geometrically by a straight line. Can be represented geometrically by a straight line. Straight line. Here length of the straight line, length of straight line is parallel to, is proportional to magnitude of vector quantity. Magnitude of vector quantity. And here there is one more thing. It can be geometrically represented by a straight line having an arrow at its one end. Having an arrow at its one end. So see here, length of straight line is proportional to magnitude of vector quantity, and an arrow represents the direction of vector quantity. It represents the direction of vector quantity. It's clear? Now see here, how will you represent it geometrically? By a straight line having an arrow at its one end. The length of a straight line is proportional to the magnitude of vector quantity, and arrow represents the direction of vector quantity. Now see here, there is one more thing symbolically. Vector quantity can be represented by an by a letter of English alphabet. By a letter of English alphabet. We can use small letter, we can use capital letter, any type. In English alphabet. Having an arrow at its top. Having a small arrow. Arrow at its top. Means if it is written like this, it means it is the vector A. It means it is the vector A. It's clear? Here symbolically you can represent like this. It is vector A. It's clear? This is vector B. This way. That way you can represent symbolically. Suppose there is any velocity vector, and here it is given velocity vector as 10 meter per second and in the east direction. In the east direction. So listen here, on the plane of paper you remember the directions. What are the directions on the plane of paper? So this direction is taken east, this is west, this is north, and this is south. You have to represent this vector geometrically. So how will you represent it geometrically? So we will assume a scale. That is scale factor we will assume. We will assume here I have assumed that 2 meter per second equals to 1 centimeter of scale. So see here, 2 meter per second is equal to 1 centimeter of scale, means 10 meter per second will be equal to how much? 10 meter per second, it is equals to 5 centimeter of scale. It is equal to 5 centimeter of scale. Now see here, after this what will you do? You take a point and you see which direction is east direction, because it is directed towards what? It is directed towards the east direction. So what is the east direction with respect to this point? This is the starting point. So it is this direction. So you draw a line segment of 5 centimeter length. I am drawing here. It's clear. Draw a line segment of 5 centimeter length. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. It's clear. This is the vector V. This is the vector V. This straight line is representing vector V, whose magnitude is 10 meter per second and direction is east. Now see here, this is known as head of the vector. This is known as head of the vector. This tip of this arrow. And this initial point is known as tail of the vector. This is known as tail of the vector. That you will remember. Head of the vector and tail of the vector. Here its length is proportional to the magnitude and arrow is pointing. Arrow means this. This is the arrow. Arrow is pointing in what direction? In the east direction. Now I am giving one more example. You can see here. If suppose I take the direction as vector f equals to, here I have taken the vector f equals to 70 Newton 30 degree north of east. So first you see what is the meaning of this. Here magnitude is 70 Newton, that is very much clear from here. Magnitude is 70 Newton. It's clear. Magnitude we will tell with direction. Because if I say that the magnitude is 70, then it has no meaning. What is 70? 70 dyne, 70 Newton or what? Or 70 kilonewton. So it is the magnitude 70 Newton. It is 30 degree north of east. 30 degree north of east means it is from east. This angle will be taken from where? From east direction. from east direction at an angle of 30 degree in towards what? Towards the north. So see here, if you see here, if you see what will be this direction will be something this. It is clear? It is 30 degree from the east and towards what? Towards the north direction. It is clear? If it is written 30 degrees south of east, so you will make in this direction. In that case, you will make in this direction. Angle will be this. So you remember this. If it is written like this, means this angle will be measured from where? From this direction. It is clear? Now see here, how will you make? So you take the scale. You take the scale. Here we have taken 10 Newton equals to 1 centimeter. Means vector F can be represented by a line segment of 7 centimeter. So first you take a initial point. Here initial point I have taken. With respect to this point, what is the east direction? First you draw the east direction because you have to measure the angle. This is the east direction. This you will make dotted. Now you draw a line passing through this point and making 30 degree angle from here. Making 30 degree angle from here. So it should pass through this point and making what angle from east? 30 degree. Means this angle is equal to 30 degree. So you cut it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it is 6 and 7. This is the vector F. So this way we can represent geometrically. Here what is head? Head is this and tail is this. It is clear? Sometimes we also represent a vector by 2 capital letters. For example, if you take this as O, this as A, then it can be written as vector OA also. Vector OA. It's clear? This way also we can write. It's clear? Now after this we will see the classification of vector. So there are 2 types of vector quantity, though it is not very much required from the point of view of your present syllabus, but afterwards when you will study the rotational mechanics, then you will get some different type of vectors. So see here, one is the axial vector, the one is the we can say here that is polar vector and other is the axial vector. Polar vector, vectors, and other is the axial vectors. So you simply remember this. Polar vectors are those whose direction is given in terms of EWNS. EWNS means east, west, north, south. These are the absolute directions. These are the absolute directions. Or it is given with respect to some other vector. With respect to some other vector. Some other vector. It's clear? Polar vectors are those whose directions are given in terms of EWNS, or it is given with respect to some other vector. With respect to some other vector, suppose it is given vector B makes an angle of 30 degree from vector A. Vector B, here absolute directions are not given. Absolute directions of vector A and vector B are not given. Only it is given that vector B makes what angle from the vector A? 30 degree. Angle is always measured in anti-clockwise direction. You remember this thing. Angle is always measured in anti-clockwise direction. That is the positive direction. That is a convention that has been decided by the scientists. That positive direction of measuring the angle is anti-clockwise direction. So suppose this is the vector B, I have arbitrarily drawn here. Now with respect to this direction, you draw another vector at an angle of 30 degree. So in which direction you will measure the angle? You will measure the angle in this direction, because this is the anti-clockwise direction. This direction is anti-clockwise direction. So you measure an angle of 30 degree and draw the vector A here according to its magnitude. According to its magnitude. Here this is the vector A. It is 30 degree. It is clear. So here both the vectors are axial. Here directions are not absolute. Directions are not absolute. What does it mean? Means if you draw the vector B this way, here I have drawn it horizontally. Here I have drawn it horizontally. Now I have drawn the vector B this way. Vector B I have drawn in this way. It's clear? This is not drawn horizontally. Now what will you do? You measure 30 degree angle in the anti-clockwise direction. 30 degree angle in the anti-clockwise direction means this direction. Draw the vector E. This is the 30 degree. This is the vector E. It is clear? Means here it is same. Only the orientation has been changed. Only the orientation has been changed. It is clear? So, but if it is given in terms of EWNS, then that will be the fixed direction. East will be always this. North will be always this. It is clear? So, those polar vectors are those which have a specified point of initial point, a specified point of beginning. They have a unique special point, a unique initial point. They have a unique initial point, and they are along a straight line. These vectors works along a straight line. While so these vectors are called the polar vectors. For example, if you draw the force vector, velocity vector, displacement vector, acceleration vector, all these when you represent vectorially, so all are the polar vectors. All are the polar vectors. But when we describe a vector, for example, moment of force, you have heard in the class 10th, you have heard about the moment of force torque. It is vector torque, it is equal to vector r cross vector f. Then in rotational mechanics you will study one more. It is a angular momentum vector. Angular momentum vector. As in translational motion there is a term linear momentum. In the same way in rotational motion there is a term angular momentum. And that angular momentum vector, that is equals to vector r cross vector p. Now all these vectors are the axial vector. They act along the axis of rotation. They act along the axis of rotation. It is clear? Means their direction is defined with respect to some plane. Their direction is defined with respect to some plane. It is clear? For example, if the axis of rotation is this is the anti-clockwise direction, so it will be taken this direction. It will be along the axis. It will be along the axis. Now if you change the direction of rotation clockwise, it will be downward. So these are the polar vectors. These are the we call it the axial vectors, are you know as axial vectors. It's clear? Now see here, after this I am going to explain you about the position vector and displacement vector. Now see here, when you have to describe the position of some point, then you take the coordinate axis as well as origin. Coordinate axis as well as origin. So here I am going to explain you position vector in a plane. So suppose in a plane there are two perpendicular direction, one is the x-axis and other is the y-axis, or x and z and y and z, anything, there will be two directions, two perpendicular directions. The point along which it is meeting, that is known as origin. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Now position of any point on this coordinate plane will be described with respect to O. Position of any point on this coordinate plane will be described with respect to point O. Suppose this is the point A. So what is the position vector of point A? It will always start from O and end at A. Always start from O and end at A. Now see here. This is the position vector of point A. This is vector OA. It is the position vector of PV of point A. Now see here, before explaining to this, I want to tell you about equal vectors. What do you mean by equal vectors? Two vectors are said to be equal if they are same in magnitude as well as in direction. Two vectors are said to be equal if they are same in magnitude as well as in direction. They can be represented by vectors of same length. They can be represented by vectors of the same length. It's clear? Now see here, this is the position vector of point A. Suppose its length is 10 centimeter. You draw another line parallel to OA, but not beginning from O. This I have drawn here. This we have named as PQ. If you see here, vector PQ is equal to the vector OA. Why? Because they are of same length as well as their directions are same. Why directions are same? Because they are parallel to one another. They are of same length, therefore magnitude is same as well as direction is same, therefore directing in the, since parallel, they are parallel, therefore directing in the same direction. But whether can you say that vector PQ is the position vector of vector point A? क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं that vector PQ point A का position vector है? So no. Vector PQ cannot be the position vector of point A. And why? Because the position vector always begins from the origin of the coordinate plane with respect to which the position of that point has been described. It's clear? Position vector always begins from that point with respect with respect to which we define the position of that point. It's clear? So here vector OA will be a position vector. It is a confined vector. This vector is confined. What is its starting point? Origin. What is its ending point? The point A itself. It's clear? It is confined. It's clear? Here these two vectors are equal. They are same in magnitude, same in direction, but vector PQ cannot be the position vector of point A. It's clear? So position vector cannot be displaced. Now see here, then suppose you take another point B here. What will be the position vector of point B? I am showing here what is the position vector of point B. This will be the position vector of point B. It is clear? Means what will be OB, vector OB, it is the position vector of point B. It is clear? No other vector can be the position vector of point B. It is a confined vector which will begin from O and end at the point B. Now see here, suppose a particle moves from A to B via this path. A particle is moving from A to B through this path. It has moved from A to B through this path. So what will be the displacement? So as you see here, what is the initial point A, what is the final point it is B. So what will be the displacement? Displacement is the straight distance between the initial and final point. So what will be the displacement vector? Displacement vector will be this. This will be the displacement vector. It's clear? This is the displacement vector from A to B. Displacement vector is also a fixed vector. Why it is fixed vector? Because its initial and final point is fixed. It starts from point A, it starts from the initial point and ends at the point B. Now there are some more types of vector. For example, there is a zero vector or null vector. Zero vector or null vector. Zero vector means it is the vector whose magnitude is zero. Whose magnitude is zero. Vector of zero magnitude. Vector of no magnitude. Vector of no magnitude. There is no magnitude of that vector. It is clear? That is known as the zero vector or null vector. This point is clear? Zero vector or null vector means vector of no magnitude, and since there is no magnitude, so how will you represent it geometrically? So it can be represented geometrically by a point, because whatever be the conversion factor, you take any conversion factor, what will be the length corresponding to the zero magnitude? It will be 0. So it will be just represented by a point geometrically. But symbolically, how will you represent? Over the 0 you put the arrow. Over the 0 you put the arrow. So it is the zero vector or null vector. It is clear? Then there is a unit vector. Unit vector, from the name it is very much clear that unit vector. It is the vector of one unit magnitude. Vector of one unit magnitude in any direction. In any direction. Suppose here it is given vector A equals to 10 Newton east. So what will be the unit force vector? Unit force vector, I am representing it by vector F, because you know that F is used for force. Unit force vector in the east direction. So unit vector means whose magnitude is 1 unit. Whose magnitude is 1 unit means 1 Newton. Means what will be the unit force vector? It will be 1 Newton east. Magnitude will become 1 Newton. It's clear? Direction will remain same. This will be the unit force vector in the east direction. How will you represent it symbolically? Because here I have not put the arrow. It's clear? So how will you represent? So we will place a cap. This is the inverted cap. This is the unit vector F. This means unit vector F. Unit vector F. It's clear? Now see here, if you see vector f and unit vector f. What is the relation between this? So you will find that it is 10 times of vector f. It is 10 times of vector f. So we can write it as unit vector f equals to vector f divided by 10. What is 10 here? 10 is the magnitude. 10 is the magnitude. This is the unit and this is the direction. 10 is the magnitude. It is in common practice we say that we tell the magnitude with unit. It is clear, because if you say that magnitude is 10, then it is incomplete. But mathematically magnitude is only 10. This is the unit. It is clear, in this unit magnitude is 10. So how will you represent it? Magnitude of vector f? Magnitude of vector f will be equal to 10. So that formula can be written as unit vector f equals to vector f upon magnitude of vector f. Magnitude of vector f can be simply written as f without arrow. Magnitude of vector f can be written as f without arrow. If f is written without arrow, then it is the magnitude of that vector. It is clear? Similarly, see here, vector a equals to 50 meter north. What will be the unit vector a? So you can get here unit vector a. It will be equal to, it will be of 1 meter length in north direction. It is a displacement vector, you can say. It is a displacement vector. What is the magnitude of vector a? Magnitude of vector a equals to 50. So what will be the unit vector a? Unit vector a will be equal to vector a upon modulus of vector a. Vector a upon modulus of vector a. So you remember this. Unit vector a equals to vector a upon modulus of vector a. It's clear? So this I have told you. Then equality of two vectors, already I have told that how will you add two vectors, what is the meaning of equality of two vectors? Two vectors are equal in magnitude only when they are having the same magnitude as well as the direction. Now the next topic is addition of two vectors. So about this I will explain this in the next lecture. So thank you.